G'day everyone, how are we today? It is the Little Aussie Collector and welcome back to the channel. So we've got the Easter holidays here, so I thought what I'd do is a quick little video here for you. Let's just talk about one-to-one life-size busts versus other scale statues. So my collection's sort of got a fair bit of everything in it, and I won't shy away from the fact that my favourite scale is life-size one-to-one. So I've got the R2D2 life size, and I've got a few other one-to-one life sizes as well. But in order for you to have one-to-one life-size pieces, you need to have a lot of room. So then I've sort of compromised, and I've thought to myself, okay, what is the next best thing for me other than a life-size one-to-one? And that is a life-size one-to-one bust. So I'm going to do a bit of a recap here of what we've got here in the bust selection. We've got 30 busts in the collection, and then just sort of like compare them against a quarter scale or a third scale piece, and let's see what you guys like in the comments. Really, I think that with the collecting, there's no right or wrong answer. It just really comes down to what your personal preferences are, what type of characters that you enjoy looking at, and what is available on the market at this current day and time. So let's start off here with some of the Marvel busts that we've got. So we've got the Venom and Spider-Man here. So comes across to the Black Panther and Iron Man. Coming across again to the Hulk. So all of those top shelf pieces are all life-size busts, one-to-one, and all of those pieces that I've just shown you there are all Queen Studios, except for the Sideshow Spider-Man. And then moving across here, another couple of life-size busts from Queen. We've got the Thanos and Loki. And then we move into some Infinity busts that we've got. So the Infinity busts are a little bit different to the Queen Studio ones. As we can see, they're a little taller straight away, and they actually really incorporate a torso. So generally you'll get an arm or two arms, and you'll get sort of like a half torso in addition to just the bust itself. So Infinity do these pieces, and they're a little taller. They are generally around the same cost, a little bit more expensive than the Queen, but they're fantastic pieces. The problem with them is they weigh a ton, and also, as you can see, they take a lot of room up. So those three Infinity pieces there, they're the only three Infinity busts that I've got. Moving across again, top shelf, we've got another Queen Studios Alita bust. And then we've got the Cobra and the Caesar combo here from Blue Box. And then to round out a couple of other busts here, we've got the Chronicle Raptor bust. And we've got a Netiri from Sideshow. Great piece, that one there. And we've also got the Jungle Hunter Predator bust. So they're all the top shelf busts that we've got here in the collection. So we'll just do a very quick pan again. So out of these pieces here, I think the most presents have the arms with them, but they do take the most amount of room also. So it really comes down to your collection and what type of space that you've got. So moving forward now, we're coming down. We've got a couple more busts here. So this comes down into my little horror section. So we've got the Friday the 13th Voorhees bust. We've got the custom Reagan, a couple of 1/3 we'll get to. And then we've got the three Blue Box busts in their horror section. So we've got the Nun and Lipstick Demon and Pennywise. And we've got the Freddy Krueger. So a good variety of busts there for the horror section. Moving across, we've got another two busts here to show you. We've got the Skeletor bust, and we've got the Reaper, obviously from ECC, so from Blade. So that's all we have for busts in this room. In the Star Wars room, we have the Vader, and we also have C-3PO, Yoda, and the Darth Maul. So life-size pieces for me are the number one, but we just don't have room to house life-size pieces, and plus the budget doesn't really allow it either. So some other life-size pieces that I do have, obviously I've got the R2 that everyone knows, but I've also got the Mohawk here from ECC. So this is a life-size piece. And we've also got a Gizmo life-size. So when we're talking these pieces here for life-size, obviously they're only the size of a third scale in width really, so they don't take up any more room. And what else do we have here life-size? Oh, we've got the Grogu, of course, from Sideshow. And we've got the Chucky. So let's come over for the Chucky. So this is another life-size piece from Sideshow. There we have him there. Great piece. So that's it for the life size. So if money wasn't an object and room wasn't an object, then obviously I'd have a few more life size pieces I'd have an Iron Man. I'd also love to have a Joker, a Batman maybe. So, and a couple of horror pieces would be good as well. But we would compare the life size pieces to, let's start off with like 1/3. So out of a statue itself, the 1/3 are my favorite scale because simply they've got some presence with height, and being a 1/3, it's a little bit bigger than the quarter obviously, and a lot bigger than say a 6th scale. So we'll start here in the horror section. So we've got 3 of PCS's horrors. We've got Ghostface, Myers and Leatherface. Now as you can see when we stand back, they're as tall as a bus generally, if not a little bit taller. And they have a lot of presence. So I guess something that we should talk about is the actual size of these 1/3 pieces now. So another couple of 1/3 pieces are over here with the Rocky collection, for example. Now these pieces that we're looking at here, they don't take a lot of width or depth, which is great. So they're generally only about that 35-40 centimeters in width and depth, which is terrific for when you're collecting multiple statues in a line. But some other 1/3s take a lot of room. So let's have a look here at the Batman Joker combo from Queen. Now, these shelves here are designed and they're 75 centimeters in depth, and that takes almost the entire depth of that shelving there. I know there's a bit of a unique piece with the custom or the secondary base that they made, but still, it takes a lot of depth up. Now these are just little quarter scales, but again, when you combine them, they take a lot of room up. So these 2 pieces here pretty much take up the same amount of room as what these busts do. And that Alita bust is quite wide with the sword. So the argument is that a lot of people won't collect busts in their collection because they think they're too big. But I really think that in today's market, the 1/3 statues that are being produced by Prime One, for example, and now PCS are doing a lot of 1/3s with their horror line, they're just as big, if not bigger. So I think the old argument of having 1-to-1 life-size busts, well, they take up too much room. I think that's sort of like, it's falling by the wayside a little bit. Like, look at this dog alien, that takes a lot of room up. And he's 1/3, and the depth as well. So you've got the depth, and not only that, you've got the width as well. So now this Prime One Predator piece, this is 1/3, which I think we're all in agreement that it's not really a 1/3, it's really a 1, 2.5 scale. It's such a ginormous piece. Now this takes 65 centimeters in width and depth. So that is just so much room for you to be able to display this piece. So 65 deep, 65 wide, and obviously it's almost a meter tall. A lot of people have issues with being able to put this in some sort of display. So, and that's just another 1/3 statue. So 1/6, I don't have any 1/6 in the collection here, but obviously there's a lot of collectors that collect 1/6 and they love that because of the sheer size of them, and they can collect multiple lines, and they can collect a lot of different characters and stuff like that. But again, for me, I'm a 1-to-1 person. I love that the most out of my collection with it. So a compromise for me is to have the busts, but I also love having a full statue as well of characters like the Rocky line there, the 1/3s. How great is it to have the entire Rocky cast in one shelf? It's terrific. So what do you think in the comments there? I'd love to read them. What are you thinking? Are you a bust person? Are you moving towards busts? Have you always been sort of like on the fence about, do I collect a life-size bust? Do I not? They are addictive, I'll be honest. Once you start with one or two, it's very easy to accumulate quite a few, as all lines and all scales are, but the busts in particular. But yeah, I'd love to see what you think in the comments there, guys. I hope you have a great Easter, everyone, and stay safe until the next video. We'll talk soon.